Hello again, my name is Mike Vorel with Pokes Authority and the Casper Star-Tribune, and this is the Pokes Authority Vidcast brought to you by Wyoming Central Federal Credit Union. Wyoming at 13-2 and 2-0 in the Mountain West Conference comes into a very big week. On Wednesday, they go to Fort Collins for the Border War to take on Colorado State, a team that is 14-1, surged out to an undefeated record before losing at New Mexico last Saturday. And then this Saturday, Wyoming hosts Boise State in another big game inside the Arena Auditorium. First off, when you look at the Border War, this game at Colorado State on Wednesday, it's going to be kind of a clash of strengths, where Colorado State is tied for number one in the conference in points per game, averaging 71.8 points per game. Wyoming is the best defensive team in the conference statistically, so it's going to be great offense against great defense on Wednesday. When you look at Colorado State, what makes them successful, first off, they have a couple of big-time seniors, J.J. Avila on the inside, Daniel Bejarano on the outside. They get to the foul line a ton. They've attempted 32 more free throws than any other Mountain West team this year, and that's a huge number. So they get to the line. They shoot the three-pointer very well at home. So there's a lot of different strengths for them, a lot of things that Wyoming's going to have to focus on trying to shut down on Wednesday night. And Wyoming has not had a lot of success inside of Moby Arena of late. The Cowboys have not won on the road to Colorado State since February 2009. So there's a lot of statistics that are going to be hard to overcome on Wednesday, but Wyoming may have the group to do it. I talked to guard Josh Adams about the matchup. Here's what he had to say. All right, I'm here with junior guard Josh Adams. Josh, obviously you guys have had the start that you'd want to have in conference play going into CSU on Wednesday. You know, obviously that's a big environment on the road, but I mean, do you feel like you guys obviously have older players? Do you feel like you kind of have the maturity to be able to do what you want to do and kind of execute the way you want to in an environment like that?
Yeah, definitely. You said it perfectly. With 6 seniors, you got a lot of experience, a lot of games played down in Moby Arena. So it's not going to be anything new for us, and we just need to relax and do what we do best. And I think we can definitely go in there and get some things that we want. But CSU is a great team, great program, so it's not going to be easy. We're going to have to work for it. Right.
Obviously, I've heard a lot about you guys trying to approach every game the same way. When you're in, Moby or it's the Border War type feel, is that any different as far as a feeling than a typical conference road game, or is it pretty similar?
It is, just because Coach Shaw said this morning they sell out every single game, so it's a different arena because you got to be real vocal. You got to be on the same page the whole entire team, the whole entire game with your teammates, because there's going to be times in the game when you can't hear the calls, you're not going to know what we're into. That communication and that correspondence has to be on point.
Now, with them, obviously they do a lot of things well. I don't know how much tape you guys have seen, but just what do you have to do to be able to go into a tough road environment? You've played a couple of tough road games so far and be able to get a win. Is it just keeping your composure and sticking to what you do, or what's the biggest thing to go into the road and win a game?
It's tough to say one thing is the most important, but it definitely started yesterday, getting our bodies right, and then I think the preparation is probably the most key aspect. It starts today. We really got to focus in today at practice and really understand what they do, and then we have to transport that from here to the game, and just bring the same focus and really understand what we need to do to win, because they do a lot of the same things. Right.
With Larry having the last week that he did, and you've seen him play for years, does it seem like to you that he's kind of got everything rolling and that he's pretty much, I guess it's hard to say if he, when he's all the way back, but do you feel like he's kind of got everything going right now?
Oh yeah, definitely. I've always had faith in Larry. I've seen what he can do before and after the injury, and he's fully capable of taking over a game on both ends of the floor. So we're not worried about him. He's gonna do what he needs to do to help his team win, and he does it well.
For Wyoming to have success on Wednesday at Colorado State, and for that matter on Saturday against Boise State, Larry Nance Jr. is going to have to be big, and he has been so far this season. Wyoming senior forward was named Mountain West Player of the Week this week after averaging 23.5 points and 9 rebounds per game in Wyoming's 2 victories last week. He's going to have to be big against Colorado State, and he's going to have to really make an impact against Boise as well. When you look at that Boise State team for the game on Saturday, it's a team that was picked second in the Mountain West prior to the season, but has lost Anthony Dermish, their top scorer, to injury. And it's a little bit surprisingly, the Broncos have started 0-2 in the Mountain West. Most recently, they lost at home against Utah State to a buzzer beater on Saturday, so that one really stings. Obviously, Boise State is going to have no lack of motivation going into the Arena Auditorium on Saturday. Well, that's it for this time. It's going to be an exciting week of games. Until next time, my name is Mike Vorel. Take care.